Right. So in the last class, we have started with what AMDP, and we have seen one example also on what AMDP. Okay. So what is the main purpose of AMDP stands for what? ABAP Managed Database Procedure. So already we have seen how to work with the stored procedures, but in that approach, what we have done is, what are the approach we have followed? That is bottom up approach. Okay. So if you see this, in the bottom up approach, we used to directly create the database procedure in the HANA database level. Then if you want to consume it from what ABAP, we need to expose it as what database procedure proxy. Okay. uh, the limitation of this was before SP05 kind of thing. Okay, the limitation of this bottom up approach is we require both the things, ABAP server as well as what HANA server, ABAP stack as well as what HANA stack. Okay, so the main limitation here is maintenance is what increased, maintenance cost is increased in the sense, assume that initially I created my database procedure with some parameters and some business logic. I have exposed it as what? Database procedure proxy. Then I consume it from what? ABAP report. Already we know the statement called database procedure, so and so. Okay. So the problem with that approach is in future, if I change the if I change the what signature of this particular database procedure in the HANA database, suppose initially I might have only what two parameters. Later on, due to some requirement, I have modified my signature. I have added some additional parameters or deleted what existing parameters, whatever it is. So again, what you have to do, again we have to do the changes in what ABAP report also, because when you're calling the database procedure proxy, we need to pass parameters to that particular database procedure proxy with the latest signature. So maintenance cost is what increased. So what SAP has done from SP05 onwards, they have implemented this particular AMDP, which follows what top down approach. So what is the advantage here? We will create the HANA stored procedure through what? ABAP. Means we require only ABAP here. We don't require any HANA stack here. Directly we do the development from what? ABAP only. Okay. So once you, how do we do it? We'll create one class. Okay, we'll create one normal class, and that class has to implement one interface. We call it as marker interface. Then only we call it as what? AMDP class. As part of that AMDP class, we'll create one instance of static method, and while defining that method, while implementing that method, we need to follow some options. Based on that option, it will and assume that as what? It is a what? Database procedure. Okay, and when this database procedure gets created, when you call that AMDP method for the first time, database procedure gets created in the HANA database. So the advantage of this approach is in future, if you require any changes, you can directly do the changes in what ABAP report. That will auto, when you call that what changed method once again, automatically the procedure will be what updated. Okay, the process will be updated. And what is the syntax you have followed for developing this particular AMDP? First you have to define the class, all those things. Let me just open that. Okay, so go through these notes which I gave. So the procedure we are following is, we have to define the class. Okay, and we have to implement this interface. You have to create one instance of static method. While implementing this method, we need to use these additions. Then only it will recognize that as what? Then only it will understand that this is not a normal method. This is a what? The call to this method will create what? A database procedure in the HANA database. If you don't follow this signature, it will assume that as what? A normal method. Okay, normal method means the business logic of that method gets executed in the application server. But what is our requirement here? We need to increase the performance. Means the business logic should be executed at what? Database level. Means the select statements should be executed directly at the database level. Okay, the application layer is only responsible for displaying the data. Okay, so for that reason we have to push this entire business logic, we have to push this entire business logic to the HANA database. That is done only by following this particular signature, this signature. Okay, so let me show you one more example. Before that, let me draft the detailed things here. So what is the first step here? One second. Yeah, so the first step you have to do is what? Definition. Okay, so let me put it as, yeah, definition only first. So the definition and what? Maintenance. Okay, the definition and maintenance is done via what? Is done via what? ADT. Okay, ADT in what? HANA Studio. ADT. Already we know about ADT, ABAP development tools. In the ABAP perspective, we have to do it. Okay, so this is the first thing. Definition and maintenance is done via what? ADT. Okay, so this what method? The standard what? ABAP class method. Okay, this standard ABAP class method acts as what? Acts as what? Container. Acts as container for what? Database procedure, business logic. Database procedure, business logic means whatever the logic you want to implement in your HANA database procedure, that logic you'll put it inside what? Method. That's what the meaning of this. The ABAP class method will act as a container for what? Database procedure, business logic. So the first thing, this is your definition part. Okay, and then what else? How do you consume it? How do you consume consumption? Okay, so if you take the consumption part, how do you consume this particular AMDP method? This consumption is like what? Any other what? ABAP class method is like any other ABAP class method means how do you call a normal ABAP class method? The same way you have to call what? AMDP method also. Okay, so first you have to define. Where do we define it? In the ABAP perspective, using what? ADT, ABAP development tool, which is a plugin which is available in the HANA Studio. Okay, and where do we write the logic? We'll write the logic for the procedure as part of what? A class method. That method will act as a container for what? Database procedure, business logic. Then for consumption, okay, we did not do any other special thing. Just how do you call a normal method? The same way, what? You have to call what? ABAP class method. The same way you have to call ABAP class method. One second. Yeah. Now, so what is the advantage of this approach? One second. Yeah. Advantage, or I'll say like this, fully integrated into the ABAP infrastructure. Fully integrated into the ABAP infrastructure in the sense, try to understand here. Syntax check provided for what? SQL script coding. You'll understand this when I do the example. Then if you get any runtime error, we can do the detailed analysis of what? AMDP runtime errors. Okay, where do we do the detailed analysis? Already we know in ABAP we have what? SC22. Okay, then what else? Only what? Transport of what? ABAP objects is what? Required. Only transport of ABAP objects is required. In the sense, what is this here? See, we don't require any delivery unit concept here because we are doing the development through ABAP. How do you do the transportation of normal ABAP objects? The same thing we'll do it here. Okay, so what is the procedure to work with this AMDP? Procedure to work with AMDP. What is the procedure here? First, you need to create what? What? Create an AMDP class. Create an AMDP class. Then what you have to do? Create an what? AMDP method. Okay. Then what you have to do? Implement the implement the AMDP method. Implement the AMDP method. Then what you have to do? We need to create. We need to create an ABAP report. Okay, consuming the AMDP method. Okay, we need to create an ABAP report consuming the AMDP method. Okay, so now in the last class, one second, let me open the last class example. Yeah, last class I have not explained anything about this thing, just have defined the class. So when you're defining the class, there is some prerequisites that we need to follow. Okay, so let me just draft the prerequisite. Prerequisite for creating AMDP class definition. Okay, so what is the prerequisite is AMDP class, okay, must implement, okay, AMDP class must implement, I mean to say must use what? Interface. What is that interface? Already we have seen in the last class, if underscore AMDP underscore what? Marker underscore what? HDB. Okay, if underscore AMDP underscore marker underscore what? HDB. This is a prerequisite. The next one is, yeah, if you have concentrated the last class example, yeah, for this method, this is nothing but the AMDP method. I'm taking one parameter. You can see I used what? Value keyword. Value keyword. So what you have to understand is all what? One second. All AMDP method parameters. All AMDP method parameters must be passed by what? Value only. Okay, so if you know our ABAP concept, when you're creating RFCs, RFC parameters what? Must always be passed by what? Value only. So similar to RFC, here also all the AMDP parameters must be passed by value only. That is the prerequisite that we need to follow. Okay, and next thing is, yeah, AMDP returning parameter. AMDP returning parameter must always be what? Must always be what? An internal table. AMDP returning parameter must always be a returning parameters. It can be one returning parameter or what? Multiple returning parameter, because it is a procedure. Function means we can have only one returning parameter. AMDP returning parameters must always be what? Internal table. Must always be internal tables. Okay, done. And what else? Yeah, that's it. Okay, so these are the prerequisites that we need to follow when you are defining the AMDP class. What is the first prerequisite? This class must implement an interface called as what? If underscore AMDP underscore marker underscore HDB. Okay, then whatever the method we are creating, whatever the AMDP method parameter we are creating, okay, those parameters must always be passed by what? Value. It can be either, did I drafted it? Yeah, it can be either what? Input parameter or what? Output parameter. Both the parameters must be passed by what? Value only, just like similar to what? RFC. And what are the parameters that we are returning must always be what? Internal table. That's why if you have observed in the last class, the example I took, value so and so type what? ty underscore tt underscore cnv, which is nothing but what? Internal table. Okay, so definition is over. What is the next part here? In the class implementation, we need to implement the method. So let us quickly understand this in the diagram. So the next part is the method implementation. One second. Yeah. So this is your AMDP method implementation. Let us see what is the prerequisites you have to follow, or what is the syntax that you have to follow. AMDP method implementation syntax, I'll say. So normal method, how do you implement? You'll say method and what? End method. In our object oriented, normal method will implement by using method and end method. I can write any kind of what? Business logic in that. But when you are going for AMDP method implementation, we need to follow certain syntax. What is that syntax is here? Method, okay, the method name, whatever it is. Then here you have to say, one second, let me put it separately, by what? Database procedure, by database procedure, okay, and let me put it in the next line. For what? HD, I can write everything in the same line. For HDB, then what else? Here I'll say language, I'll say SQL script. Okay, done. Then we have to say, I can say options, what? Read only, options read only. And then what else? In the last class example, using. Okay, yeah, here I have not used options read only, but it is any optional only. So options read only. What else I can say? Using what? Dictionary objects. Okay, using dictionary objects. Okay, or better say dictionary artifacts. Done. Then you have to write the logic here. What is that? Business logic, nothing but what? SQL script coding. And then this is what? End method. So this is the way we have to implement the AMDP method. Okay, so I have to say by database procedure for HDB. Okay, for HDB language is SQL script, options is what? Read only, and then what? Using dictionary objects, and then what? This one. Okay, done. Okay, so let me put it here. Yeah, so as part of implementing your AMDP method, what is the option I'm using? The by database procedure. So the meaning of this statement is, try to understand. Let me put it like this. Yeah, the meaning of this statement is, statement is indicates, okay, this will indicates method body contains, indicates method body contains what? Database specific code, okay, and not executed, or indicates method body contains database specific code. And the second point it will indicate is not executable, not executable on what? ABAP server. It should be executed on what? The database server. So the purpose of this statement is, the moment it sees this particular statement by database procedure, it will understand that the business logic, whatever you are going to write in the method, it should not be executed in the application layer. Instead, it should be executed in what? HANA database level. What is the main purpose of AMDP? Code to data means you push your entire code to what? Database, and make sure that the code gets executed in the database level only, and you return only the required data. In our traditional ABAP, we used to retrieve the entire data from the database to application server. Then in that retrieved data, we used to do the calculations, processing, all those things. But now the business logic should be executed in the database itself. So how do we indicate SAP about that? By using the statement what? By database procedure. Okay, the moment it sees this, it will indicate, it will understand that this method body contains a database specific code, and it should be executed on what? On our database, not on what? ABAP server. Then we have another statement what? For HDB. For HDB. So this is very simple. For HDB means this is a database platform. Okay, and as of now, this is only what HANA. Currently, only what SAP HANA is supported. Okay, so we are telling SAP to execute this particular code in what database? HANA database. So as of now, only it is supported only for what HANA. In future, it might be available for other databases also. Okay, done. And next part is what? Language what? SQL script. Language SQL script. Now, what is the meaning of this step here? Here I'll say, yeah. Database. How do you write the logic in our HANA database? By using what? SQL script only. So database procedure language. Okay. So here the what is that procedure language here? SQL script. Okay, and options read only. Yeah, this also we covered earlier when you're discussing the stored procedures concept. Okay, suppose in your procedure, if you are using only select statement, okay, if you want to use only select statement, we use addition what? Read only, so that it will not perform some checks. It will understand that we are going to use only what? Select statement, and not insert, update and delete. Okay, so to avoid the checks, we'll use the options what? Read only. So here also, if I use this options read only, what is the meaning here? We are telling SAP that as part of this database procedure, we are not going to use any DML statements. Okay, so this indicates what? It indicates that no DML statements are used in the what? Business logic of the procedure. In the business logic of the procedure, no DML statement means already we know, like what? Insert, update, delete are used in the business logic of the procedure. Done. Okay, and then if you have observed in the last class, in what are the example I have shown you. Second please. Yeah, what are the example I've shown you? I am using what? Using what? GCINC means in your method implementation, if you want to refer to any database tables, any of your dictionary tables or dictionary views, those things you have to specify by using what? Using keyword. Okay, so here, one second. So here, what is this dictionary artifacts indicates here? It indicates what? Used ABAP dictionary, tables, what else? Views, etc. Table types, all those things. Okay, that's it. So, and then as part of this method and end method, we are going to write what? The business logic. So this business logic, how do you write the business logic? By using what? Native ANA, sorry, by using what? Native ANA SQL script. Native ANA SQL script. Okay, so this is the meaning of what? All these things. Okay, so entry point of view, what does the indicate means? So and so. You have to explain all these things. Okay, so let me show you one more example so that it will be very much clear. So in the last class, what we did, what is the example we covered? I created one custom table like a ZCINV in our ABAP dictionary. I created one custom table ZCINV, and I maintained some sample data for the two columns, interest and due days. I have not maintained any data. my AMDP method should construct the values for this interest and what due date. That is what is the requirement. So what we did here, we have created the AMDP class by using ADT tool. That is in the ABAP perspective. We have created, we implemented, and this logic gets executed at what ANA database level itself. Whenever you're trying to call it for the first time, and then we have consumed it from what ABAP report, something like this. Okay. Now let me show you. Let us see one more example. One second, please. One second. Let me just take a call. Yeah, I'm sorry. Let's restart. Yeah, hope it's audible to everyone. Yeah. So let's see one more example on this AMDP. So last class we went for this custom table and we have pulled the data from that and we are doing some calculation kind of thing. Okay. Now what I want is let me create one AMDP class which contains a method which has to return me the sales order header data and sales order item data. Okay, it has to return the sales order header data and what sales order item data. So where do we develop this AMDP? In the ANA Studio, we need to go to what ABAP perspective. Okay, in that ABAP perspective, we need to create the AMDP class which can contain one or more AMDP method. So let me connect to the server. Yeah, so this is a server. Okay, yeah, we are in what a development perspective. Let me switch to what ABAP perspective. So I'll go to ABAP perspective. Done. So in this ABAP perspective, yeah, so this is my connection. I'll try to connect. So last class, I believe we have created one package. Let me close everything. I don't require these things. Right. So in this, we have created one package. We have placed it under the favorite package. What happened? One second, please. Yeah, so this is a package we have created, zgensoft underscore package. Okay, so in this, we have created one AMDP class in the last session. Okay, zgensoft underscore AMDP underscore CN. So I repeat once again, my agenda is what I need to create one AMDP which has to get the sales orders, which has to get the sales orders and what displayed. So instead of creating that procedure directly in the HANA database, I want to use what AMDP means from ABAP. We need to create the AMDP method. Whenever we call that AMDP method for the first time, automatically the procedure gets created in the HANA database. So the advantage of this approach is what we are pushing the entire business logic to what HANA database. The business logic will not be executed in the ABAP layer; it will be executed at the database layer. And in future, if you require any changes to be made, you can directly make the changes in the AMDP method, which will reflect to what your HANA database procedure. So, in order to develop this AMDP, we need to switch to what ABAP perspective. Okay, in the ABAP perspective, you can create this AMDP class as part of a local object or as part of any package. So last class we have created one package z zensoft underscore package. Let me create one class. Okay, so here I'll right click on the package. Let me add it to the favorites first. Yeah, it is added to the favorite. So I'll right click on the package, my package, and I'll create the AMDP class. How do you create? Right click, new ABAP class. Done. It is asking me the class name. Since it is a custom class, I'll start with ZCL underscore. Let me give the name as what? Sales order underscore details. Just give some description. Get sales orders what details, get sales orders details. Say next. What is saying here? The class ZCL underscore sales order underscore details already exists. Might be in my class builder already there's the name with this thing. So I'll give it as sales underscore order underscore details. Let me say next. Done. It is asking whether you want to create a new request or choose an existing request. Anything is fine. I'll go for the new request. I'll give some description, say finish, right? So the template is auto generated. Now, as of now, this class is a normal class. Remember, as of now, this class is a normal class. I cannot call it as a AMDP class. I can call it as a AMDP class only if it implements what an interface. Okay, what is that interface? If underscore AMDP underscore marker underscore what HDB. So what is that I said here? Okay, your class, where is that? Yeah, AMDP class must use what interface? If underscore AMDP underscore marker underscore what HDB. Okay, so what I have to do in the public section, excuse me please. Right. So in the public section, interfaces are always implemented in what? Public section. Already we know this in our object-oriented concept. So I'll say here what? Interfaces. Okay. Interface. Okay. First of all, let me not implement that interface. Let's see what happens. Okay. So what I'll do here, I want to get the sales orders from what? The dictionary. So I'll create one local types. In the last example, what we did, directly I'm referring to the dictionary table. Okay, type table of what, so and so. Now let me try to create a local type. So I'll say types, begin of ty underscore order. Let me take some fields. Weblen type, Weblen. Next, what else? I'll take item number type, psnr underscore va. Then vkorg type what, sales organization. Done. Then you can take some fields like item price, what is the data element, netwr underscore ap. Done. And what else? Status, I'll take care of what, 30 or care of 20. Let me take care of 40, otherwise care of 40. Done. And I'll close the types declaration, end of what, ty underscore order. Okay, so I created one local type. So as of now, still it is a normal class. I cannot call it as a AMDP class. Then what I'll do, based on this types declaration, let me create one types internal table. So I'll say types tt underscore what, order, type what, standard table of, what is the types declaration, ty underscore order. Done. So I declare that. Then I need to take what, one method. Okay, so that method can be either instance or what, static. Okay, so if it is instance, compulsory I have to create the object. That's the reason I'll go for what, static. Anything is fine. So I'll go auto declare static methods, class methods. Let me give the name of the method as get underscore sales order underscore details, done. Okay. What I want to do here, I will take some parameters. I want to pass sales document number, so I'll say importing I underscore weblen type what weblen, then exporting I want to return the sales order, so I'll say exporting what internal table I want to return, so I'll say et underscore order type. What is the types internal table I declare? tt underscore order. Yeah, tt underscore order. So it has got two what parameters. One is import parameter, another is what export parameter. What is the error I got here? See, acha, implementation missing for the method what get sales order. So whenever we declare any method, you must what implement that particular what method. Okay, so let us implement that method. Hope it's clear. Still I am not calling it as what AMDP class or AMDP method. It's a normal class. Now in the implementation, let me say method. What is the method name? Get underscore what sales order underscore details. I'll provide the dummy implementation end method, done. What is the error still? Implementation missing for the method what get underscore sales order underscore detail. That still it is processing here, it may take some time. So I provided what dummy implementation. Still I cannot call it as what AMDP method, or I cannot call that class as what AMDP class. It's a normal class and a normal method. So let it process. Still processing.
Sridhar, this class implementation, since it is a SQL script programming, can we use all the C functions and outer join, inner joins, cursors and all
Yes,
what we have
yes,
been discussing?
yes, everything we can use.
So can we also create any types like how we created in SQL script, like types, table types and all that within this method implementation? Because it's a SQL script, right? So we should allow us.
Yeah, okay. Acha, you want to create the local types kind of thing, huh?
Like we have created table type, right, in HANA database in
Yeah,
native HANA, like yeah, so since that block is reserved for HANA database procedure, right,
yes,
internally
we
it's in the
can.
background, it's a procedure, right?
Yes,
So
all the ANA artifacts can be created as part of this method. The simple reason is this gets executed at the ANA database. It will recognize. You can write any kind
there
of
is a
code.
procedure.
Yes,
Correct,
yes,
yeah.
we can.
We can even implement that cursor technique or
Yes,
whatever,
exception
give.
handling,
Okay,
everything.
okay, okay, but
Hmm. Yeah,
okay, but when we write it in HANA Studio, it's okay. But when we create the same, program in the GUI level,
uh
uh,
First of all,
okay, when we create,
first of all,
yeah, okay.
you must create this only in in this ANA Studio only.
Oh,
When you activate this, it will create a global class. But initially I must use this ADT tool. That's what I said here. Oh, one second.
okay.
Where is it? Yeah, that's what I said. You must use what? Definition and maintenance is done via what? ADT tool in what? ANA Studio. So when you activate this, it will create what? A global class. So directly I cannot create. I can create it there, but I cannot say that as what? AMDP. Okay.
Hmm, hmm. Okay, okay, okay.
Yeah. Now see here, I don't have any syntax error. I can leave it like this. So this becomes a normal what class. But I want to register this method as what AMDP method. So for that, you must follow this particular additions. What are I told? This syntax I have to follow. So let me try to follow. Let's see will support or not. Here I have to say what by. Let me put it in the next line. What is that? By database what? Procedure for HTTP language done. Okay, for database procedure for HTTP language is what? SQL script done. Then I want to use anything like what? Options what? Read only. Options read only. Then as part of this, I want to make use of some dictionary tables like VBAK and what? VBAP. Done. So now it is giving me error. Good. Okay. So I am marking this as what? AMDP method. Now you can see it is showing the error here. What is this? Good. What is saying it? See the tooltip. The method get sales orders details a database procedure contains a database procedure, which means that I underscore webline cannot be defined as what? Reference parameter. So just now I drafted all the parameters must be passed by what? Value. I don't know where I passed it. Hmm. All the AMDP parameters must be passed by what? Value. So compulsorily you have to pass it by what? Value. Whether it is input parameter or what? Output parameter. So I'll say value of what? I underscore webland type webland done. Still I am getting the error here also. What is this? The method so and so cannot be defined as a reference parameter. Done. So here also what? Value keywords. Done. Value of et underscore order. Still any errors? Hmm. Yes, what is the error here? See, database procedures managed by ABAP can only be defined in the classes that implement the marker interface. What is that? If underscore AMDP underscore marker underscore STP. Am I clear? So now since I am following this signature, it is saying that you must implement that particular interface. So in the public section, what is that interface? I'll say interfaces if underscore what? If underscore AMDP underscore marker underscore what? HTTP. Okay, interfaces so on. So still I am getting the error. Why? Good. What is the error I am getting? The body of the database procedure cannot be empty. Now it is not a method. Now it is a procedure. If it is a normal method, I can provide what? Null implementation, open the method and would close the method. But this is marked as what now? A database procedure. That's why it is giving an error. The body of the database procedure cannot be empty. So now you go ahead and write the logic. Okay, so now I'll say what is the return parameter name? Et underscore order. Yeah, et underscore order equal to, I'll say select. I can use the native SQL now. Select what? X dot weblen. Select X dot weblen. Then I want what are the postnar I want? Okay, Y dot postnar POSNR. Then I want sales organization from VBAK table. So I'll say X dot VKORG. Then I want item price. Let me take it from where? I'll take it from NETWR. So I'll say Y dot NETWR as what is the column name I want? Item underscore price. Okay, item underscore price. Then what? Okay, I have to construct the value for the status. So in VBAP table, we have one field called as LFSTA, status field, item status field. Okay, LFSTA. Go and check that in that VBAP table. Y dot LFSTA. When blank, then I'll say then what? Then not relevant. So I'm constructing the values for that status. Then when what? Item status would be A. Then what? I'll say not yet processed. Then when what? B. Then I'll say what? Partially processed, done. Then when C, then what? I'll say completely processed. So these are the different item status, done. And I'll say end as what is the column name? What is the column name I took there? Status. End as what? Status. Done. End as status. From which table? From VBAK as what? X. Okay. Inner join VBAP as what? Y. As Y. Then I have to equate the condition on X dot weblen is equal to what? y dot weblen. X dot weblen is equal to what? Y dot weblen. Done. Okay, where x dot weblen is equal to what is the input parameter I'm passing? I underscore weblen. I underscore weblen semicolon, because this is a database procedure. Done. That's it. So simple business logic. I'm trying to get the data from my VBAK table and VBAP table using some inner join. I'm constructing the value for the status column based on the field what? LFSTA. LFSTA is one of the field in what? VBAP table. What is the alias for the VBAP table? I gave Y, item status. If it is so and so, then I'm constructing this value for which column? Status. That's it. So my AMDP class and my AMDP method is what? Created. Let me save it now. No syntax error. Check for the syntax error. No errors. Good. I'll activate this. I'm activating that. Yes, it is activated. Now what happens? It might have created one global class. Initially it is a local class. Now when you activate, it would have created what? A global class. So I need to connect to my SAP system to check that. Right, I'll go to SC24. What is that class? ZCL underscore. What is the AMDP class? ZCL underscore sales underscore order underscore what? Detail. So if I display that, yes, good. You can see here, method is static public method. Done. We are implementing one interface, marker interfaces for what? Database procedures. What are the parameters for this? Okay, so what you have to understand is we should not directly create this global class here. You have to create that in the HANA Studio only through that ADT. When you activate that, this gets created as what? Global class. So once it gets created the global class, I can call it like a normal method. What is the signature of this? So and so the signature. Done. I'll try to double click on that. Yeah, it is taking that here. This is a same kind of what? Logic. Okay, done. Right, so the global class is what? Available. Now I need to consume it. Acha, before that, okay, we have created this AMDP method through ABAP perspective. I have activated that. Let me check whether any AMD, whether any stored procedure got created with this name. What is that name? Get underscore what? Sales order underscore what? Details. Get underscore sales order underscore details. Let me check it. How do I check it? Go to what? HANA development. Done. In my HANA development under catalog, what is the schema configured in my system? SAP ABAP 1. Na? How do you identify this schema? I believe already I told it. In the T code, what is the T code? DBA cockpit. DBA cockpit. What is the schema linked here? SAP ABAP 1. Yeah. SAP ABAP 1 is a schema. Okay, so what I have to do now? Yeah, in the SAP ABAP 1 schema, let me right click on this. I'll say refresh. What is the procedure name? Get underscore sales order underscore detail. So if you see this, right, so you will not have it because we are not yet called that method. And the method, the procedure name would not be directly like this. It is prefixed with what? Class name. So if you scroll down here, okay, I'll do one thing. I'm unable to locate here, so I'll just filter it. Right click on this, I'll say filters. What is my class name? ZCL underscore what? Sales underscore what? Order underscore details implies what is that method name? Get underscore what? Sales order underscore details. Let me say okay here. Oh, it's there, huh? No, it's not there. It is not showing that. See, it is not available. It is not available. Get underscore sales order not. It is not showing that. Okay, it is not showing that entry. It is not available. Let me check the table types. These are the table types. I am not concerned of the table type. I am concerned of the procedure. As of now, it is not created. So I need to consume it now. Now, how do you consume it? Again, I need to write an ABAP report for this. How do you write? Right click on the package, new, what? ABAP program. I'll give the program name as Z consume underscore AMDP underscore sales underscore what orders. Okay, consume sales orders. Say next. It is going to create one ABAP program. It is still creating. Just hold on. Last 5 minutes. Just hold on, please.
Sridhar, can we create joins with reference to this, the internal table in the HANA procedure?
Yeah, you can. I didn't get you. Joins using internal tables means.
Like we are joining two database tables, right? But
Yeah, yeah,
here,
yeah,
can we
yeah.
join?
Yes. Yeah, I'll show that example tomorrow. In the HANA database, the advantage is so far we can use joins only on database tables, only on database tables. But the advantage of this HANA joins is I can issue the join statements on internal tables also. Means we can avoid for all entries. That's what you're saying?
Oh yeah, that's the conclusions. Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
probably yes.
Yeah, just to avoid for all entries, I can use a select statement using joins on what? Internal tables. Normal ABAP, we can use joins only on the database tables. I cannot use joins on the internal tables. Yes, we can do it. Anyhow, that example also is there. I'll cover that point tomorrow. What happened? It's still creating. Yeah, it's created, done. I'll just choose this, say finish. Yeah, now I need to create an ABAP program for this. So what is my AMDP class name? ZCL underscore sales order details. It has got one static method, what? Get sales order underscore details. So calling an AMDP method is just like calling a normal method. So ZCL underscore what? 1 second, please. Hello? Just wait, just wait. Server issue, I'll let you know. 1 second. Just wait. Yeah, ZCL underscore, what is this? Sales underscore order underscore what details. ZCL underscore sales underscore order underscore details implies. I can use implies because it is having what? A static method. Get sales order detail. Is it showing in the help here? Smart help implies yes. Okay, you can see here it is showing me that. So I want to choose this method. Get sales order. How do you generate the signature automatically? Shift enter. I'll just shift enter, just like pattern. Okay, get sales orders. I underscore. I have to read the input. So I'll say parameters p underscore weblen type what weblen done. I underscore weblen equal to p underscore weblen and I require internal table na. Acha. I can directly create this internal table. Earlier example, if you observe, when I'm consuming, I think I have defined it in the beginning. Yeah, I defined an internal table referring to my dictionary structure. I can do this. I can do this. Okay, but let me go for HANA capability here. Data of what? I'll give it as LT underscore order. It will dynamically create the internal table. That's it. So I'm passing this particular sales document number. It will return the sales order data which I'm receiving in the dynamic internal table. Now I need to loop and what? Display it. So I'll say loop at what? LT underscore what? LT underscore order into I require work area. Let me try to declare it dynamically. W underscore order. Done. Will it accept? Good, right? I'll say right. What are the field names? W underscore order hyphen what? Weblen. Then what else? Hyphen what? PYSNR. Then what? VKORG. Then what? Item price. Then what? Status. Status. Only five fields, huh? Yes, Weblen, PYSNR, item price, status. Done. That's it. Let me save it. Check for the syntax errors. No errors, good. Activate this. I've activated. Let me execute now. I'll say F8. Okay, I have to pass the problem with the okay. I have to pass my sales order data. So let me go to VBAK table. Let me just quickly get the data, or let me go to VBAP table and check what are the items available. Yes, we are having the items fine. Anything, yeah. I'll pass 8 here, which has got two items. Sales document number is what? 8. So here I'll say 8. Let me execute this. Good, I got the data. What is this? Sales document number, item number. Okay, sales document number, item number. What is the sales organization? Might be this is the price and this is the status. Okay, right, working fine. I'll go back, I'll give 1 year. Yeah, only one item is there. Done. Working fine. So I'm displaying it on the LPS screen. Okay, I'm displaying on the LPS screen. What I can do here is I can go for, yeah, let me just comment it quickly. I can go for normal loop and do it. Done. So last class, what is that I used for displaying the data? We have one predefined class. What is that? CL demo output. What is the method I use? Display method. Okay, display method. Now let me go to that class. It's a predefined class given by SAP. I can directly make use of those methods. SC24, SC24. What is that? CL underscore what? Demo underscore what output. In this class, what is the method I used earlier? Display method. Na? I use display method. Shows the current output. Done. Now I'll try to use display underscore data. Yeah, display underscore data. It has got two parameters, value and what? Name. Done. So let me try to quickly use it. So I'll say CL underscore demo underscore output. Is it a static method or yeah, it's a static public method. So I can use implies. What is the method name? Display underscore what? Data. So I'm interested in this method. Shift enter. Done. I got it. Value is equal to what is the internal table I got? LT underscore what? Order. Name might be a description kind of thing. So I'll say something what? Sales orders. That's it. So let me save it. Check for the syntax errors. Activate this. Done. Execute this. Okay, this is my server issue. 8 execute. Good. So I got it in what? Some other format. Okay, we are able to display the data. We can display the same in ALV also. That we'll discuss going forward. Am I clear to everyone? Okay, so this is a dynamically created internal, dynamically created work area, or I can use some predefined classes. Now, if I go back to my ABAP perspective, If we go back to ABAP perspective, let me refresh this. I'll refresh. Yeah, you can observe now. Good. One second. Yeah, if you see the table types, I'm not interested. I'm interested in the procedure only. Oh, I think 1000 only we can display. So I'll just filter it now. How do you filter? I click on this, apply filters. Okay. What is that method name? Get underscore what? Procedure name is what? Get underscore sales order. Get underscore sales order underscore what? Details. Let me say okay. Yes. You can see here. What is that class? What is my AMDP class name? Where is it? Yeah, here you can see the class name is what? ZCL underscore sales underscore order underscore details. ZCL underscore sales underscore order underscore details. So let me switch to the HANA development perspective. Here you can see ZCL underscore sales underscore order underscore details. What is that procedure name? Get underscore sales order underscore details. If I double click on this, it will open that procedure. Yes, you can see at the background it has created the procedure. Done. And you can see there are some table types also got generated. You can see in the table type section. uh, if you scroll down here, again 1000 limit, again 1000 limit is there. You can filter it here also. Right click on this, refresh. What is the class name? I click on this, also filter. ZCL underscore what? Sales underscore order underscore details is the class name. Anything is there? Yeah, good. You can see now in the table types, ZCL underscore sales underscore order underscore details implies what? Get sales order details. One second. Yeah, you can double click on this. Let's see what happened. What happened is, see, whatever the table return parameter is there, it is returning that as a table type. Okay, a table type got generated as part of your HANA database. Understood? Automatically got created. Whatever the table type I created here in my AMDP class, this one, what are the table type I created in my AMDP class, based on this, what happens? It has created the table type in the HANA database level. Okay, and there are some other dependent artifacts here. Is it clear to everyone? So this is a way to work with this is the only way to work with the AMDP class and what AMDP methods. And one AMDP class can contain n number of what methods. If I create 10 AMDP methods, at the background 10 what procedures gets created, provided if you call them. Suppose in my class I created 10 methods, all are AMDP methods, but when I'm consuming, if I call only one what where is that? If I call only one method, yeah, if I where is that? Yeah, if I call only one method, only that procedure gets created. Okay, the procedure gets created only when you call that AMDP method for the first time. Any questions on this part? Please ask me. Definition, implementation, and consumption. While defining, you must follow the prerequisites. You must implement this interface. All the parameters you have to pass by value, and the returning parameters must always be internal tables. Returning parameters must always be what? Internal tables. And while implementing that method, you need to use these additions. Then only it will create a database procedure at the background. Then only it will push this business logic to the database. If I don't write these additions, okay, this logic gets executed in the application server only. Our agenda is what? Code to data. Push the entire business logic from application server to database server. Execute all the select queries in the database level, and at the end you return the final data. That final data just we have to receive and display it.
So Sridhar, you mean to say like
Hello, sir.
Open SQL statements will not be run in the within this method and in method implementation.
No, it should be, if it is a AMDP method, you must use only native SQL statements.
But within the by writing this same syntax
Uh-huh.
method, declaration,
Uh-huh.
can't we use this open SQL statement?
No, no. Uh, One second, one second. Acha. Okay, what you are saying is inside this you want to use a open SQL statements, right? No, we
Correct.
can't.
Yeah.
We can't because this logic gets executed at the HANA database level, no? So it should be native
Exactly.
SQL statements. If it is at the application server level, yes, both open SQL as well as native SQL can be incorporated. But this is only what? That's why in the diagram I clearly mentioned, I think, yeah. What is this? Native HANA SQL skill. The business logic should make use of only native SQL. Is it clear? That's why you can see I
Also,
gave semicolon here.
Yes, Sridhar. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. That's what my doubt is. It's okay.
yeah. Devashish, bolo.
hello, sir.
Hmm.
Sir, is it possible to display the any interactive report?
It is possible to display any
Interactive report. Any get cost setting, any hotspot, interactive report.
interactive reporting. Okay? Yes, possible. Possible.
Yes, yes.
Possible. Anyhow, in the next 1 or 2 days, I am going to discuss that integrated development access using ALV. So in that, I'll be covering that interact. Yes, possible. Very much possible. We can. See, what you can do is, see, you are consuming the written data, you are displaying it. Okay. So when I'm displaying it here, I got the output here. Na? Where is that? Yeah, when I execute, okay, let it execute. But when I got the result in the ALV format, I can put what hotspot or button, or I can make it what interactive. So tomorrow when I introduce that, I'll show you that. If not tomorrow, at least day after tomorrow. Is it clear to everyone this AMDP concept? Done. So tomorrow what we'll do is we'll see how to pass select options, how to pass select options to this particular AMDP methods. Okay. So practice this part. We'll continue tomorrow. I hope I've shared the recordings till last date, right? Till last week Friday. Everyone has received, na? Okay, fine. So I'll wind up then. We'll continue tomorrow with other examples of this AMDP.